and we move to Vampire Counts turn 3. Sorry about cutting off on that last video segment. So the lots of things happening here. The big one is the blunder that I didn't even mention on the last video segment. I had moved my Grail Knights up too close to a zombie horde, and so he got an easy charge to my Grail Knights. And I don't know what I was thinking. I looked at the pictures, like maybe I just wasn't used to the distances people can charge in 8th edition, and even that's not the case. I just wasn't that far away from him. It was just a silly blunder. But anyway, he moves his corpse cart in front of my unit, didn't even try to evade me. I'm not sure what he was thinking, if he thought that he could survive for a while there and keep this unit out of the combat. I don't know. This is an easy choice for him with the Grail Knights. Yeah, what a silly mistake. This is an interesting one. We're still, Pegasus Knights and Corpse Cart are still fighting, but down here at the bottom, I don't know if we played this correctly or not, and it didn't matter this game, but it's still kind of interesting. I'm going to show you a picture of where the zombie dragon was. That's where he was before. So in 7th edition, he'd be in my front arc. In 8th edition, I don't know if you still use the whole base size to determine what arc you're in, or if it's just the front edge of your unit. And if that's the case, his front edge is in my flank, and so he would get a flank charge. And if that's the way you are supposed to play it, that's going to open up a whole new series of tactics about angling units such that you're able to be in people's flank even though you're not really in their flank. So obviously I haven't reread the rules on that, but if anybody has feedback, I'd be very curious to learn it. Here we go on the far right. He moves his spirit hose up a little bit, and then during magic he moves them up again. He knows I put this unit over here because I thought the character had a magic weapon and he could take care of the spirit hose, but he doesn't. So yeah, he's just moving his spirit hose up to keep these guys out of the combat, which I think is pretty smart. After combat, Corpse Cart is dead. My peasants were broken and fled from combat. And the Grail Knights were easily broken. He killed a couple of them, and I broke from combat res and lost the standard. So, yeah, so I followed the blunder with my Grail Knights up with the blunder of the bowman. If you look at the lower left, I charged the bowman into that horde unit, and I guess I was thinking that because I had flaming attacks, I would do okay against him, which is just silly and it's stupid. I mean, what I should have done is moved up to where he couldn't charge my Grail Knights, and then angled so that if he beat me and overran, he wouldn't run into the Grail Knights. That's what I should have done. I don't know. I have no idea what I was thinking there. I did move my Battle Standard Bearer after this picture was taken. So he's actually behind the Grail Relique. So other things that are going on: Knights of the Realm, go ahead and charge his Corpse Cart. Pegasus Knights, go ahead, after defeating the other Corpse Cart, charges Necromancer. And it looks like I'm not lined up to him, but that's not true. I did line up correctly, and then we moved his model a little bit because the models were causing problems. So if I beat him, I'll get an overrun into that skeleton unit, which is nice. And very happy with the Grail Relique into his general. It's really, the only tool I have this side of the table that can deal with that general. If I can just hold him up for a few turns, I'd be very, very happy with that. And this is the far right, trying to pop that unit through combat res, and really a mistake to take the Knights in there. I should have just gone in with the peasants and then just move the Knights away. The peasants can stay there with him the rest of the game, and I would have been okay. And the Knights aren't doing anything more for me in that fight. So this is my third game that day. I get loopy when 3-hour games in my third game. I'm just tired and doing silly stuff. So anyway, that's it. The picture before fighting. After fighting, we're still locked in combat there. Pegasus Knights kill the Necromancer, get into the rear of the skeleton unit. The horde destroys my bowman and get another charge into my Grail Knights. Devastatingly, the Grail Relique fails its stubborn 8, even with the reroll. And he pursues, and they get away, but he gets a free charge into my Battle Standard Bearer, which I was none too happy about. That is really unfortunate. The only thing I have going for me is that I've got the helm that gives me a 1 better armor save and a 2+ ward save against flaming attacks. So his general is not going to be able to get wounds on me very easily. So just close-ups of things that were happening. Yeah, I beat that Corpse Cart, did a reform. Yeah, Grail Knight's got charged again, and we go to Vampire Count's turn 4. At this point, he's not moving because everything he has on the table is in this picture and is locked in combat. He beats my Grail Knights, and then does a reform with a zombie horde because I've got 3 units of knights looking at him over there. So this is where things got really exciting. We're still locked in combat on the right-hand side. My Pegasus Knights are in with the skeletons at the top. I decided to go ahead and bring those peasants in because I'm just going to declare a challenge, issue a challenge with my battle standard bearer, so I'm no worse off having the peasants in, and they get a flank and a charge. So I'm really just trying to hold him up. If he kills my battle standard bearer, there's a chance that we're still going to just be, I'll be able to lock him in combat. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I can get lucky with the only attacks I have are from his dragon, and I've got the weapon that if for every wound it does on you, you lose an attack. And I did a wound on his dragon, so he's down 1 attack. I think he started with 5, now he's at 4. So there's a slim hope that I can survive that. Very slim, but still. This was the exciting one. This is a big point sink for him, and I couldn't have asked for more. Now my general is in the bottom left, and he has the Worm Lance that I found out later I used incorrectly, but I thought you could use it in combat like any breath attack, and somebody told me that that's not the case. You cannot. But anyway, I thought you could, and after you do that, your attacks are all flaming, and once this unit takes 1 wound that's flaming, they lose regen for the entire phase. So I came in, I issued a challenge, and I issued a challenge with my Lord, and that was the huge mistake because he was able to put a wound on that vampire who's at the right. We moved him over, but his vampire came back, and he's not a vampire. I'm sorry, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. He's the White King, and he's got Killing Blow, and he gets Killing Blow on my general. So now, every round of combat, I don't have that. If I hadn't have done that, if I'd issued a challenge with anybody else and kept my general safe, every round that we fought, I could have done at least 1 wound with that Worm Lance, and everybody else's attacks would have not had to got through the regen save. Huge blunder, huge blunder. Nevertheless, for this phase, there's no regen for him. So this is before fighting. After fighting, the zombie dragon kills my battle standard bearer. It's not surprising. Over here, did a slew of it. I hurt the heck out of him. Probably about as well as I could have hoped for. He's got 1 wound on his White King. He's only got 2 guys left. The problem is it's his turn next, and he's going to be able to try to regrow him. Still locked in combat here. We're locked in combat here only because he hasn't been able to fight my guys yet because we were in a challenge, and my guys are still wasting their time over here. Oh, it was so disappointing. He grew 15 guys. I was so disappointed. Was it 15? I guess 14. He grew 14, and that's going to hurt. Still hanging out here. Surprisingly, we held. Amazingly so. I had a flank and did a wound on him, and he did 3 wounds on me, and whatever, we held. So still hanging out on the right side of the board. We go to Brett turn 5. So now, because my men-at-arms held, my Grail Relique battle programs charge into the dragon, and it's the same thing. These guys are stubborn. I just want to hold that dragon up. I am able to. I get my Questing Knights into the flank of that zombie horde, and the big problem I'm having now is he makes almost every regen save, and because I was so silly and lost my general, I can't negate his regen. So tell you what, regen banner in that unit is smart. And I had the solution for it and gave it up. So that's before fighting. And after fighting, even with the stubborn, I wasn't able to stay, and all my guys are gone. And I don't know if he broke my battle pilgrims or if he just killed them all. I don't know, but that's going to hurt. I did relatively few wounds. I mean, I did okay against those crypt ghouls. Finally got rid of the spirit hosts on the far right. That's just another picture after fighting. But he gets his Vampire Lord into the rear of my Questing Knights, and that's really going to hurt. It hurts so bad that you can see the ones he killed, but then they just broke me. I did no wounds. Look at those crypt ghouls. I did no wounds on them. or if I did, he was able to grow them in his magic phase. I really don't remember which way it happened. The good news is I got away with everybody. Yeah, close-up of that, close-up of this. He just didn't roll well on his pursuit, so he broke me. So I didn't get his points, but he didn't get mine either. We didn't even play a Bretonnia in turn 6 because if I didn't rally, I would still be on the table. And there was no charges I was willing to make. So we just called it at that. Yeah, just real weird how that happened at the end, but the whole I get full points for units because I get full points for him. I had a whole lot of points left on the table, but the same thing with him. He had so many points sunk into those 2 units that he got a whole points left. In the end, Bretonnians won by 125 points. It was very close to being a draw, but I won ever so slightly because I got full points for those units. So that was it. Hope you enjoyed it.